The last place where you can get shard is actually from the rift itself. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of multitask and do both here. I'll go ahead and get rolling on the beginner just so I can kind of show you what it's like. As you can see, it is 2 energy per tile. The normal is 3 energy, heroic is 4, and master is 5. So one thing to check before you go into the rift, make sure you have enough energy or you have energy refills to get through it, because once you go in, you only have 1 hour to complete the rift. If you quit out, if you get timed out, anything like that, you lose the shards and you lose whatever prize you would get. So make sure you are ready to do it and you have enough energy before you go into the rift. And as you can see, they give you this little warning message. No big deal, but again, just one last reminder to make sure that you are ready to go. So I am in. I spent my 10,000 tier 1 shards, and it brings me into this mini map, if you will. It's going to be 6 fights total. I'll go ahead and just get this first one done so I can keep it moving. Alright, so yeah, as I was saying, it's 6 fights total, and again, the difficulty of the map kind of correlates to the event quest difficulty. So since this is tier 1, it's on par with doing a map on the beginner event quest. Tier 4 is on par with doing a map on like master mode. So if you are comfortable doing master mode every single month, then you're good for these rifts. Again, they are 6 fights in total. You get to the first one. Once that is done, you get to this portal right here. So this is essentially where your reward is chosen for you. It's totally at random, as you can see right there. And it has a path to all of the different reward areas, so to speak. So there's, you know, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, and J. As you can see, some of them are labeled as rare. Those are going to be the better rewards. Again, since this is only tier 1, there's nothing too crazy. As you can see, the crates, as you can see there, are always going to be shards, no matter what map you're on. So, you know, premium hero crystal shards, 3-star, 4-star, 5-star. On this map here, there's a 3-star awakening gem. There's a 3-star sigstone crystal, which should be 10 of those, I believe. You can see a tier 3 basic, a tier 3 science in terms of catalysts. So again, all the maps will look like this no matter what difficulty you're on. It's just a question of what rewards will be there. And once you get to the portal, as you can see, once you hit that chance it button, it will be picking the path for you. It's totally random. You get the one path, and that's it. You get what you get. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that button, and I get, looks like it is the Science 3-star Awakening Gem. So that is what I get. Now remember, you have to actually make sure that you finish the map in time to get that reward. If you don't finish, if you time out, if you forget about it, whatever it is, you will not get that reward and you will lose the shards. So that's why I want to stress once again, make sure you are ready to go before you go into the rift, because they won't reward you anything. You know, they won't give you anything back, so to speak. So I am just quickly going through these fights, because there's one last thing I want to show at the end. Passing on through, I've got my 3-star awakening gem right there. Keep going with the fights here. And again, as I was saying, the higher tiers definitely has some great rewards. The tier 4, the expert tier, master tier, whatever you want to call it, you know, they've got 5-star shards, tier 4 basic, I believe full tier 4 basic, as well as frags, tier 2 alpha frags, full 5-star crystals, both basic and featured, 5-star awakening gems. So there is a lot of good stuff here. So these are definitely worth pushing as hard as you can, especially in the event quests and the solo and alliance quests. Do as much as you can so you can get as many runs in of, you know, tier 2, tier 3, and you'll see why that's extra important in just a second here. So this is the last fight. Again, nothing to worry about. This is beginner mode, so not too shabby. I do like these reverse versions of some of the characters they've done, or the dark versions, anti-versions, whatever you want to call them. But yeah, so that is the final boss. That wraps up the map. As you can see, I've got my 3-star Awakening Gem, but the last thing I want to talk about is whatever rift you do, when you run it, the other reward that you are guaranteed to get is 5,000 shards of the difficulty above you. So as you can see, since I just did a run on tier 1, that means I got 5,000 shards for tier 2, which is halfway to the next tier. That's why it's so important to even run these smaller ones as much as you can, because it allows you to get more shards for the tier above. The only exception is if you do a run of tier 4, since there is no tier above it, instead of getting 5,000 shards of a higher tier, you get 500 5-star shards, in addition to whatever item you pull on whatever path you randomly get. So that's why running as many rifts as possible is very, very important, so you can maximize your runs in tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, and get some of those really fantastic rewards. It's not available right now, but the other option is to open a Rift Crystal. Those are going to be available in a week and a half or so, and it only has some of the rewards. As you can see, it's not here yet, but this is where they will show up. It only has some of the rewards for each tier, and it only gives you 2,500 shards for the tier above instead of 5,000. So essentially, it is never recommended to do the Rift Crystal instead of the Rift Run unless you absolutely run out of time at the very end of the event, or it's a difficulty that maybe you're not ready to run a tier 4 rift, but you could at least still open the crystal and get a little something instead. But otherwise, it is absolutely recommended to always do the run instead of opening the crystal. But anyway, that's going to wrap up this video. I hope it was a good breakdown for you all as to the dimensional rifts, chaos rifts, whatever rifts they may call it in the future, event that is going on right now. If you appreciated it, please smash that like button, and feel free to subscribe as well to more tips and tricks as well as other content on my channel. Again, this is MCOC Droid Does. See you next time.